It's 11:40. Big day for the Crohn's Crusaders today. Stage 7, the biggest stage of this year's Tour de France route, and 224 kilometres. And we made a few wrong turns, so it ended up being 238 kilometres. So myself and Dale made it up, and we got there at 10:58. So it was 16 hours and something on the bike, which is massive. And we left Marika on her own. She was behind us. She was bawling her eyes out at 18 kilometres. You could just see them streaming down her face and hitting the ground. And we thought, what are we going to do? And she just got stronger and stronger as the day went on. And but yeah, we left her on her own, so we didn't see how she went. But her support car with mum and dad in it said she did 30 k's an hour for the last 20 k's, and she's really pumped about it. And yeah, a few people are having a few beers and they're all pretty happy with it. The biggest stage is over. I think there's going to be some tougher stages, but this is the biggest one that we all sort of took note of when the route came out. And yeah, we're happy that it's over. So yeah, we finished it in the dark. We could see the reflection of the snow around us, and it was pretty cold up there at 10 o'clock at night. But yeah, it was good. But anyway, we'll go and chat with a few people and see what they thought of the day. I'll start here. What do you reckon, Dad?
I reckon it was a big day, it was a hard day. I'd say everybody was really happy.
Yep.
We followed Marika and she absolutely nailed it.
Yeah.
She did 200 k's for the day. It's the biggest day ever. And it's the third time in 4 days she's done the biggest day ever.
That's
she was
huge.
magnificent.
Thanks. I'll move on. But yeah, she's my favourite rider as well.
John and I had one.
Yeah, the spiral stuff.
Oh, right, that's okay.
Nancy's cooking up some pasta for everyone, which we will absolutely smash very soon. Jace, do you want to have a word?
Of course.
Dodgy Jace here sat in a car for about 17 hours and just followed us around, and it would have had to have been the most boring thing ever, but joint best on ground with Tara.
We had some sat nav for some of it, and tried to basically run us in the wrong direction, so we turned her off and said, sorry, can't help you there. But it was all good. It was awesome riding from the team, so we're happy to see all that in action and see a dead snake. And if not, keep it for brekkie. So we'll just pretend it's sausages.
Yeah. And what about what was the best scenery of the day or the highlight of the day?
Probably coming through last bit of Spain into Andorra.
Yeah.
Magic. Just magic. So couldn't go wrong with it really. It's just a lovely amount of scenery all around. And yeah, it's a pleasure to drive through it and watch you guys destroy the mountains.
Thanks, Jace.
Nice.
Nance, your favourite rider?
Oh, Marika today, she was fantastic. She really was. No, it was very good.
And what did she average at the end?
30 k's an hour.
Not bad.
Yeah, it was very good. Her legs were pumping. I tell you what, she went really good. I think she did better at the end of the day than at the beginning.
At the beginning? Yep.
Rightio, we'll start pushing up to.
Alright, we'll be in a minute.
Rightio.
We'll just go for a walk and see if we can find anyone else. So we've got 3 rooms tonight. It's midnight, so I should probably keep it down a smidgen. There's Buckholt's well-deserved beer. Have a look at that.
This is going to taste like gold.
Get that in you. If I did that, I'd be drunk already.
Cheers.
And your highlights for today, Bucks, or any good points?
Highlight was just finishing.
Yeah.
I can barely remember the day because I
Yeah.
just switched off and just tried to keep turning the legs over.
It was tough at the end. And how cold was it up top, or did you see any snow, or was it?
Saw snow on the peaks just next to us.
Yeah.
It was freezing up the top. It was late. I don't know what time. What time was it? 11.
10:58 we finished. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of Ks, a lot of climbing.
What did you think of those signs at the end? 5k, 1k to go, 2 Ks to
That
go.
was a sick joke. It's supposed to be like, what, 2 Ks to go, and
Yeah.
it gives you a sign.
Mr. Tara
7 degrees for the next 4 kilometres. What's that shit about, Frenchies?
Yeah.
They're not French over here, are they?
Sorted out, Frenchies, Monacoids. So where are we? Andorra.
Andorians.
Too late. Yeah. Good
Yeah, it's
stuff.
tough.
Yeah. Feel good though now? Man, I feel
I
good.
feel pumped.
Yeah.
As soon as I sit down, I'll fall asleep.
Speaking of feeling good, here's the star of the team today,
Yeah.
Marika Mulcoin. How are you feeling at the 18 kilometre mark today?
I was crying and I went to pull
Can you also have your... No, don't worry.
But I
Normally-
pushed through, which was
And how many kilometres did you do in the end?
200.12.
0.12. And is that your biggest day ever?
Yes.
For the 3rd time in 5 days?
Yeah. How good is that?
That is awesome.
But I did cop some Demi Watson sunburn.
Ooh, nasty.
You look so good.
Good cannons.
Yeah, thanks, been working on them. So yeah, and I'll have some new tan lines, the first and the second support.
And
Food's on.
food's on. I think that's our cue. Did you see the snake that we all saw?
Yes.
Did you scream?
Yes, I did.
Wait.
Did you think it was alive?
Yes, I did. And Joe passed it very carefully. But it was missing its head. And I had a really good look. And I had some fans.
Yeah, tell us about everyone that was supporting you.
Well, I was riding by the lookout and the 3 men came running down going, ole, ole, ti amo, ole, ole. And then they overtook me and they're hanging out the side of the car and they're banging on the door going, ole, ole, ole. And I was riding. And when I pulled up to the pub, they were hanging out the window going, beer, beer, beer. And I kept riding. And then as I kept riding, they overtook me again and they're trying to give me some water. So that was good to have a team there.
Yeah.
The bands.
Extra team.
Yeah.
That's really all I have to say about that.